Okay. So let's say we have an array of elements inside 20, and then just random numbers, and then another element 40 here, 50, 60. So the question is, how do you guys flatten this? So the output should be the final output should be all elements inside one single array. So do you think there is a like built-in method to flatten this and then make it where does it come from? Okay, make it extracted all the elements from inner arrays and then gather them inside one single array. Well, what would be your approach in this case?
Wait,
You what?
keyword. I don't remember. To be honest, it was some keyword which contains, if we even had like 2, 3 arguments, that keyword could
We can spread it.
contain.
Oh no, spread doesn't work with arrays.
Yeah, it does work, but can you extract these inner array elements by spreading?
Oh, I got it.
You see, it's flattening. It's just like you have an array and then
I got it.
array inside another array and then array inside that array.
It's gonna be triple array. Oh no, for loop.
Yeah, that's one way, guys. Thank you. So basically, let's say if you have this nested array, what would you do is simply looping, right? You basically loop it and then grab one by one, and then push it into somewhere else and then collect it. So like 2-level loop, it could be like n square. How about like if we have more nested arrays inside? Yeah, more
Maybe use
nested.
recursion.
And then let's
Recursion.
say here you have another, and then here another array. You see, guys? And then we already are in like first, second, third, fifth, maybe sixth level array. So in this case, the number of nested loops will go to 6th level. Is that something a good solution in this case?
Use the recursion, yeah. Make a function and provide it with arrays.
Recursive way, yeah, that could be better. Was that Nur Sultan? Hi everyone, Zarina. Yes, hi. And yeah, recursing looks like the best choice in this case. But we still have array method that can flatten our nested arrays. Have you ever tried that one? Flatten?
No. I've never
Flat
encountered
method or something.
something like that.
What's that? Say it again. Was it
Irina,
like
go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying the flat method or something.
yeah, so let's try
Yeah.
with flat dot flat and then see what's gonna happen. Array dot flat. Actually, yeah, you see, we could extract only the first inner array elements, and the next array elements are remained. You see, as we go deeper and deeper, let's say we have more arrays here, with even like strings with different data types. So it's not possible with flat itself. Okay, it just can go down one level, but the flat has good side. Like you can provide argument for him so that how many levels you can go down. So by default, it can go down to very first level. So now we could extract from the first array. And if you put here 2, it can go up to 2 levels down. Who's the level 2 array here? It starts from here, 50, 60. Now it can extract 50, 60, but stops from 80, 90 because 80, 90 is another inner level array. Okay, so if you see here 10, 20, 30, 50, 60, we could go up to 60. For the 80, okay, we can still go by just putting here 3. Now we're gonna extract that 80 and 90 as well. Okay, 80, 90. And for 100 and 110, we can go down to level number 4, and it's gonna bring all the information up to almost the last array, last inner array. Now we can put here simply number 5 to completely flatten this array. Okay, so this flat is a built-in method, basically to extract inner level arrays and then put into one. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
But the
What
downside
is
is
it going on behind the scenes though? Is it like looping?
maybe we don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, whoever built this for us, maybe they came up with loop. I don't know, but most probably it does recursive. Maybe I believe, because let's say you have 50 level, and then if you put here 50, are they gonna write like 50 nested loop, which makes like big O of n to the power of 50, right?
That's
Instead,
too much.
yeah, that's too much. That's overwhelming. But the downside is like you have to identify the deepest level of your array first to be able to put here the correct number. Okay, so how do you identify? It's almost like impossible. Like just have to, count and then okay. So I have 5, level arrays, and then I have to put here 5. What if it's 21? What if it's 79? And so on and so on. Are you gonna like count and then put here that correct number to be able to get everything? So that's kind of difficult. But let's say you during the interviews you have like 2 level of arrays, up something like that, 10, 20, and then another array like 50, 50, let's say 60. If interviewer asks you to flatten, you can directly use this flat method to impress them. Okay, so like, okay, you have only one level, the main, and then the next level, and then you don't need to put anything because by default it can reach out to the first level. Okay, and so you would immediately flatten it. But if interviewer goes further, like, okay, about this one, how about this, and then another, inner array, and then one more array, and then by counting these like square brackets and then putting the correct number is something like a hard coding. It's something like not good solution. So in this case, you have to come up with more smarter solution with the recursion. So let's do that with the recursion now. Okay. So bear in mind this flat is good for like 1 level, 2 level issues. So now using the flatten, yes. So what we do is using the recursive approach. We can grab these numbers one by one, as long as there is no array. But if there is an array, we call the function again. Okay, so we call the function again to iterate over that array. So basically what we do is, we pick up this guy first and then put it somewhere else. And then looks like this is another whole array, right? So what is the length of this array, guys? What's the length of this main array?
Well,
What?
Two.
12? What was that?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I thought
Really? It's
length.
the length. Yeah, it's very simple.
6?
2.
Ju- Just 2 guys. Look at this 1 and then the another second element. That's it. The length is just 2 for the array.
You scared me.
Yeah.
Said
Yeah, it could appear scary, but just the 2 elements there are. So the first one is just a number. Second one is another array, which is considered as a second element. So the length is just 2 for this array. Okay. the length of inner array is different. So we have 1, 2, and then the third element. Okay, so inner array has 3 elements. So that's important to be able to see. That's why don't forget about it. So what we do is here, if you write a recursive function and then call itself again and again every time when we see a new array. So how does it work is basically we pick this up first, and then here we have array. Okay, we cannot do anything. So we have to call function again, and then that function starts iterating over the new array elements. So the new array element is gonna be this one. So new array, I mean new argument, okay? And then it picks up this one, and then we have another array. So in that case, we're gonna call our recursive function one more time, and a new input for that recursive function is going to be this array, okay? And then it picks up one by one until it sees another array. So when we see another array, okay, we're gonna call that function and then pass another new array as an input. Okay, so this way we recursively call the function that helps us to iterate over arrays. Okay, so whoops, I stopped sharing. So from algorithms, you know how recursions work, right? From data structure from algorithms. Did you practice like decent amount of examples?
Yes. Almost.
Cool.
Kanybek, sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let is just creating new array, right? He doesn't mutate the original array.
Oh, no. This is just input, and then we will create completely another variable to collect all these arrays in one single wrapper. Okay. So let's go with the function, and then we can say here Latin, and it takes array, okay, and then we have left new array is initially empty, and then we gonna return that new array at the end once the job is done. Okay, once the job is done. So here we can create another helper function. So basically a function, let's say helper that does the iteration task. So it is basically taking array. Let's give an array, and then what we do is we'll just loop first that array. Loop that array. So for let's say I of array. So the I of picks up each element, right? We don't need index. We don't need anything else. I of just picks up every single index. I mean every single element directly. And then what we do is if type of. So how do you check if the type is array? How do you check if the data type is array? Is it using type of or what?
I think so.
Array is object type.
Yeah, type of gives object, right? What
Oh.
if yeah, what if it's null? What if it's
Okay, wait, is array. I don't remember exactly. Something array or is array to check.
yes, it is. So what's going on? So I have to split it here. Okay. How do I clear this console, guys? Is it just run the project? Okay. It says error, or anyway, run again. Just want to type here something, not allowing me to type. Interesting. All right. Yeah, if we have object and then using type of still gives us object, right? And if it's an array, it still gives object. So for instance, type of here you have an array, you see? It's object, and type of this guy is is still object. So to be able to differentiate clearly between object and array, use array dot is array, and then when you provide here a real array, it's gonna say true, and if it's object, it says false. Okay, array is array, and then so this is also could I mean kind of like just quick interview question. How do you like differentiate array from object? Which method you use? They could ask, and then if you know this array is array, that would be I think best answer. Yeah. So array is array. And now what we're gonna do here, if this array dot is array I, so if it's an array, when we provide an parameter, if it's an array, we call this helper one more time, okay, and then give him I, okay, give him I, because for let I of array, this I is a single element from array. But if that element is an array, let's say if that element is another like array, then it's gonna call the helper again. But if it's not an array, if it's an element, what does it do? Is simply push it into new array. New array dot push I. Okay, that's it. It just keeps pushing here as long as it is not array. But if it's an array, it just calls again. Okay? When it calls, it receives a brand new arrays, and then on top of that brand new array, it runs this for loop operation one more time. Over here, we just call this helper and then provide him array, and when array is called, and then we are done. That's it. Take a look, guys. This one. Let's call this function now. Console.log flatten, and then let's give him array. Okay, and then you're gonna get the output as flattened. You see, everything is flattened without the need of any array method. Does make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, it's very cool solution. Just practice like a couple of times, and then you will not forget about it. So if we just split this task and then understand one more time, what does it do is simply so here we are calling this helper and then providing him this huge array. Okay, this huge array is our main input. And when this is invoked, it calls this function. And how does this function work is it starts picking one by one. You see, for let I of. So first I becomes 10, and the type is not array, so 10 goes here. So this collection starts getting the first element as 10. And then next I becomes this huge inner array. And then the type is array here. So it calls this helper function again. So helper function goes to the next stack and then receives a brand new array. Okay, so that array contains elements like 20, 30, and then another array. So this helper function runs this loop one more time and picks up 20, picks up 30, keeps pushing into new array. And then when it sees another array, it calls that helper function again. So helper function, this one, receives another, stack of array elements. So here it's gonna have 50, 60, 50, 60, and then 80, 90, and so on, so on. So when this helper function receives this as an input, it picks up 50, 60, and then keeps pushing into new array. And then we have another array here, and to call helper function one more time. That's how basically recursively it runs until the last element. And then once it's done, the loop is also done, and it goes out and it just returns the new array, the collection of all elements. Okay, any questions? No questions? Just save on your somewhere else in your encyclopedia for interview preparations, guys, and practice this one as well. Recursion is good. There's also another game, I think, called what was that? Hanoi Tower Recursive Solution. Tower of Hanoi. Have you guys worked on this one before? It's basically this game, like you just have to migrate these disks all the way to the right column, right? Without putting the smaller one on top of the bigger one. And that's also could be achieved using the recursion. You see what you do is like you put smaller disk here and then the larger disk over here and then move the smaller disk and then back to larger and so on, so on, so on. At the end of the day, you should end up relocating all these disks the same way on the rightmost column. So this is a symbol called like Hanoi of Tower of Hanoi game. You know this game about, right?
Yeah.
No, first time.
I don't know this game, yeah.
I mean, this is game actually. Every little crawling child, I think, plays.
Yeah.
But
No, I mean the in a programming
yeah, but
perspective.
from exactly from coding angle, it's actually difficult to find a solution. So there is a clear explanation of this game in HackerRank or LeetCode. You can easily find it out, and then you can find out the solutions using the JavaScript. What does it say? Disable ad blocker. I don't have any ad blocker. And continue without. Come on. Yeah, like you see, watch a couple of videos and then try to practice it at home on your own, and you should be able to understand easily. Yeah, this is just a kiddos game, but it has its own approach to solve it using recursive patterns. Cool. Another major problems that could be achieved using recursion is like, what was that? I think counting level of trees. You see, a recursive solution. I think you haven't started with the stacks, queues, linked lists, right? Or have you?
Linked list only, I think.
You started? Have you started or not yet?
Which one? All of them or?
No, linked list.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So once you start having better understanding linked list, you can you would be able to also build trees, like binary tree, different sort of trees. And then trees have their like leaves, nodes, and then you can count the how many leaves are there, how many nodes are there, what is the level of your tree, using recursively. Like you keep going down until you see the final leaf. Okay, so final here final leaf, and then you go back and then continue where you were last time. And then this way, you see, you end up like counting how many leaves are there, how many nodes are there, so on and so on. So in these kind of scenarios, also recursion is really important. Also, like searching here, let's say you are looking for a certain number wherever it's located. So the recursion is another best candidate to apply solution. Yep. But recursion has its own also, drawbacks. And then the solution for recursion is, maybe you have heard about it, maybe never. Solution to optimize the recursion is, do you know how to optimize recursion? So let's say So when you solve this problem, like Fibonacci series, you know Fibonacci series, right? Have you guys
Yeah.
heard of? Yeah. So like the previous two numbers end up making the
Some of the
yeah,
third
you
one.
know, yeah, the next one, and then 3, and then 5, and 8, and so on, so on. If you solve this recursively, there you see some repetitive, tasks. So like to be able to find the sum of, let's say, 5 and then 8, recursive approach does some steps again and again every time. So to avoid that, repetitive tasks, there is one great, uh, you know, coding paradigm or programming paradigm, which is called dynamic programming. And dynamic program basically caches, so like stores in the memory, let's say 2 plus 3 is 5. Whenever it sees 2 plus 3, it just gets from the memory without running 2 plus 3 again recursively. Okay, so it basically eliminates some drawbacks of recursive approach, and then optimizes the performance of algorithm up to next level. So that's called simply dynamic programming. So you can see like dynamic programming, Fibonacci, actually, yeah, Fibonacci sequence, and then recursive Fibonacci. So I'm just gonna show you the image between two. Calculate for Fib made us calculate Fib3. Yeah, calculating Fibonacci 4 basically makes you to calculate Fibonacci 3, and calculating Fibonacci 5 makes you to calculate Fibonacci 4 and 3. You see, like Fibonacci 4 is, Fibonacci 3 is already here for calculating 4. And for calculating 5, Fibonacci 3 is still here. You see? So like we have two places that Fibonacci 3 is calculated. So dynamic programming eliminates these steps, not to repeat again and again. So basically, yeah, here I see that. Yeah, here. See, graphical intelligence dynamic programming. It basically eliminates those repetitive calculations and makes code running or performing way better. Yeah, but that's no worries. Dynamic programming is something really far from us to become a software engineer. I mean, it's not actually something asked during the interviews unless it's a top company like Google and so on. But in the future, if you just want to get exposed with dynamic programming, this is what it is regarding the difference between dynamic programming and recursion. Okay.
Okay, so who has a deal with these steps, if not software engineer?
Well, yeah, it's just the concepts of advanced algorithms. Let's say if you're really good at dynamic programming, and if you join Microsoft and then working for 20 years in Microsoft, you would never ever be maybe using dynamic programming there too. It's just subjects in programming languages, and it's actually advanced topics. They wanna challenge you if you know these topics or not, because they hire the best candidates. But in the real world, I don't know where it's used. But of course, it has its own specific areas where it's used. But as a developer, I don't think so. You're gonna use it.
But it used in I know in path finding algorithm like
Yes,
Dijkstra and
exactly. Yeah. Those kind of maybe like games. Shortest path, like
yes.
Google Map. They have maybe, but if you join those kind of teams, maybe you would somehow utilize those logic.
Mm,
But
yeah.
just a regular applications, web applications.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, no,
you
for the
don't,
web, yes, it doesn't need
yeah. So any sort,
some performance required applications would need dynamic programming.
yes. So basically here, knapsack problem, shortest path problem, yeah, maximum subarray, computer science, longest common
Knapsack is commonly used, I know.
I don't
Like
know. Yeah, it says like
maximizing uh, the knapsack.
yeah, kinda. You see like routing, graph problems,
Mm.
AI, yeah. But as
In AI,
a
it's commonly used, I know,
maybe as a
like
as
in
a
neural
reg-
networks.
Mhm. As an regular software engineer, 99%, more than 90%, you will never use them. Cool. So yeah, this is a recursion, and since you solved this problem also, I think you don't need to move forward for this one. I think you already know the solution. That's nice. Just like go ahead and then practice a little bit at home, the way Azamat showed, and that would be perfect. And
Kanybek, so
yeah,
sorry, I have a question. So this one has objects as well, and we would also check for objects, right? And then also push them into the array or push them into another object that we create when we're doing recursion.
yeah, actually we can keep pushing, but here we are not like flattening. What we are doing is we keep displaying them. So as long as we have type equal to file, we're gonna show on our UI. But if it's not file, we keep going down. We keep going down until we find out the type is file. Okay.
Oh, so okay, so we're looking for the key, the value of the key file.
Yes.
Oh, I
Key.
see. And then we keep pushing it to like an array constant and then display it.
No, you don't push here. You just show on your UI.
Oh, okay. So like
Yeah.
mapping.
Yes, just
You're
mapping.
mapping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, mapping. So we can do it really quickly. Actually, you want. So this is. Oh, actually, this one. Okay, index. I mean, I don't want to make it index. Let's make it data. And then I want to create here index.js. So here we have data, and then what we do is simply write our regular what's that JavaScript or React function, and using that React function, it's quite simple to loop over that, and then mapping operation. Okay, so let's go with function. I think it's too small, right? The font. Is it better now, or one more? Okay. Function, and yeah, we can go and then so let me do export default function. Let's say this is our app, okay, and then it has the return, where it returns a very simple another component, where we can say like helper. Okay, helper component. So this component takes one prop. Let's put here data equal to the one that we created in our data. Import data. It's actually input, right? Okay. Input from data. Okay, so we just give this input as a prop, and now here we're going to create our helper function, helper component. So function helper, and it takes that data, right? So here is the very simple mapping operation. So we can create like UL that wraps basically everything, and then data.map let's say item, and then return. So what we do is we check if, so before return, let me check first. Let's say that if, okay, item has type equal to file, okay, so we're basically doing what? Let's just get all these main objects. So this item is object, right? If the type is file, we just show it. Okay, what we do is simply show it. So return and then li, okay, li, and then put here the file name. Okay, so like item.name. Otherwise, else what we do, if it's not file, so if type is not file, it's actually not name, it's type, right? Okay, item.type, sorry. If so we're gonna put here name. Yeah, this is correct now. So if item type is file, okay, we show the name. Otherwise, what we do, if it's not file, it means it's a folder. It means it has some contents, right? So what we do is we call this helper one more time. Okay, we call that helper again. So we call this helper again, return that helper one more time, and by giving him another props as just item dot contents. Okay, because contents is another array of objects. That's it.
But we didn't display the first two folders, I think.
So if now we can add right here as well. So let me cut this, okay, for the return part. So we can cut here and then simply put here. All right. Sometimes it's not working properly. Li. So we can put here, if it's not a file, we can still put here name, and then within that li, we can call this helper. Okay, that's it. So basically, what it does, it starts iterating over this array, and then picks up the first object, and then goes to else statement because the type is not file. Goes to the else statement, and then what does it do? It displays the name src, and then calls the helper again. And helper takes the contents. The contents has a lot of objects inside. Okay, and the helper does the same operation as the main helper function. Okay, so let's say if it's file, it just shows the name and then goes out. This is the solution. That's it, guys. And it's gonna show everything for us now. So let's go and then run this code. Function helper app. So basically we go to index and then attach that correct component name. So it's basically folder structure and index. Okay, so let's put this app, insert here. There's my terminal. Yarn start, sorry, npm start, npm start. Okay. So take a look. This is what it is for the recursion of solving this sort of problems. And it's not that complicated. All right, it's coming on here.
It's start or run? What difference? Kanybek?
Well, what, did I use npm start? I did npm start, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it should be npm start, and if for run, npm run. No, we don't have npm run. We have npm build
Wait.
for building.
Looks something custom.
Yeah, some custom. Why it's not working? Unexpected token. My image app. What is running here? My image app. Parsing unexpected token 36. I'm not even running the image app. Project, my image app. So what's this? Not even running. So let's deactivate.
Maybe you went in different folder.
So let's just comment them out, not to get any interruption. Not even running that app folder structure index, right? Yes, that's it. Index.js, function app, export default, my image app. Let me just comment out. What's up now? Index. Yeah, that's it. So let's start again, maybe. npm start. My first app, yes. Inside here, we are running the index. Index has app, which is coming from folder structure. Cool. It's now up and running. Here it is, you see? It's just showing the folder names, and then it goes deep down, down, down until it finds a file. When it finds a file, it goes up and then continues where it was last time, and then goes inside here. And for the third object of the very first object, okay? So this is the very first object, and then it has contents, and contents has another 3 objects. The third object goes a little deeper, okay? So it's basically like this. Where is the data? Here we go. So this is the first object, okay? Let's hide the others. The first object, and the first object has contents, and that contents has another 3 objects. You see, for 1, 2, and then 3. The third one goes quite deep until we have like dot redux. And here it is showing dot redux, and then goes up and then continues from the upper object. Yes.
I just see maybe can okay, we have an item. We have item name. So can item name be at the same time and list and UL and li? I mean,
Item name can be what?
it looks like
It's
when
just name.
put it inside list. Okay, we'll put it inside list item dot name. And next time we are sending item dot content, we use the recursion. And when we're running this function again, he's UL. He's becoming UL now.
Yes. Inside the li, you're gonna have like a bunch of ULs later on, and
So
then you have and then you have UL, yes, and then li as it goes down, which is normal.
okay, it really looks like he's and UL and list is the
Yeah,
same.
that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Doesn't matter. But you can come up with not ULLI, just div maybe. It's up to you. I just put here, some bullets to show them. Otherwise, we can come up with, some icons as well. So let's just remove it, okay, and then put here, just div. And then we can attach here some icons like something from React icons.
Yeah.
React.
I understood. I just don't want you to
Yeah, to make it like look real. So folder, you see, we can grab this. It's basically this one, and then over here we can bring it. Okay, and then file, and then file. So let's get this and import it. So for folder, we're gonna put here before names. Okay, for folder, and then for file, we'll put before names where we have file. That's it, unless we import it. Shouldn't be an issue. Looks like we don't have React icons installed. Let's see our package.json. React. Cool, we don't have. Let's quickly install it. Home. React icons. Where is the installation? Oh, okay, it's here. React icons. Save. I can open really quickly another terminal. Yes. It's gonna install now. Okay, React icons is here, and I think we can see now. Yeah, you see, we can, because of that ULLI, we can't get a better pattern. So if it was ULLI, it would be better, I think. Let's just update it to UL, and then put back here li. That's it. What's up now? UL, li, li. There's still some errors. Folder structure can't resolve React icons. It resolved, right? I mean, unless I think we have to run one more time to fix all these issues. PM start. Yeah, that's I think pretty much about this problem. It was asked during one of the Amazon interviews. Amazon interview asked it not for me, but for one of my friends.
What
So
did
now
you ask?
to this day, same question, same problem.
with the folders.
Yeah, folders. They just gave the data, and then to show the UI using front end tools, either JavaScript, React, whatever. So now you can apply for Amazon since you
Yeah.
have this.
Same. I just thought if
Yeah.
Amazon use this task.
Yeah, it's a nice task for like junior, mid-level developers. You know, some may know, some may never seen this kind of problems before.
It's really giving me hope that it's not really so complicated tasks.
Yeah, it's not complicated. So the more problems we get exposed with, the better we become. Even the problem is going to be completely different during the interviews. You just like you just have to practice more with various types of problems. All right, so let's have a break, like 10 minutes, and then we'll continue. Okay.
Thank
Cool.
Which time is up?
Yeah, you can get started now. All right.
Did you run somewhere?
What?
Did you run somewhere?
Yeah, I just go out backyard and then have some really quick, like some sort of push-ups, pull-ups, and come back.
Oh,
Yeah, I said a lot. Sometimes I forget like for several hours without noticing the time, and it's actually really painful without exercises. Okay, so just wanted to like list here. I think we're still recording it. Okay, so you should have like list of exercises that you should be really familiar with before starting for the market job search. So 5-star, hangman, tic-tac-toe, and then recursive problem, flip cart, shopping cart. So yeah, shopping cart basically includes almost everything. And then like hooks, router, okay. What else we can add here? Pagination. So in the shopping cart, you can include searching, sorting, delete, add, increment, decrement functionalities. Okay. And then pagination. Yeah, I would say like these kind of problems. Yeah, you should be practicing more a lot before going to the market. I think you have worked quite most of them. So for the hooks, the question could be like, what are your favorite or commonly used hooks? So like, yeah, definitely the question is something like, what are the commonly or preferred hooks that you use during the work besides use state? So you can say use effect, use memo, use callback, use ref, and then for state management, hooks, context API, use reducer, and so on. Okay, so these kind of things you can take a note and then focus on regarding the React practice for the interviews. Okay. If anything else comes into my mind, I will list here. What else we can have? Hangman, 5-star. And you worked with 5-star, right? With React, like the rating.
No.
So.
but we
Let's
have
see.
pre-built ones, no?
So for instance, this one, how do you build this 5-star using the React? Have you worked on it?
No, but it looks like not really hard.
Yeah, it could be, I don't know, maybe a half an hour question. Like you're gonna build some blocks as assuming that they are stars. And how do you like maintain the position of your, the rate of your star? So like if you click, it should remain. So if you click the number 4, it should remain like or it should fill up all the first 4 stars. And if you click back, it should remove everything, something like that. So you can give or you know, undo your reviews and so on and so on. That's kind of, so we can also do that. That's very simple. Hangman, I think you worked on it, right? Have you or not yet?
Yesterday, yeah.
Okay, cool. Tic-tac-toe, yeah, we can work if you want again on recursive problems, something like this. Flip card. Say it again.
To-do list also?
The tic-tac-toe.
To-do list.
To-do
No,
list.
I mean-
To-do list is. I think it's very straightforward. You can do it on your own. I think. I don't think so. There could be such question during the interviews. But if it's still based on the knowledge you have here, to-do list is still simple. Okay, I'm just listing like potential exercise problems you can practice. I mean, it's not the common interview question, but you know, potential resources for you to boost you know, React confidence before interviews.
Do they ask a calculator?
No, I never heard about it. Unless they give you like the design already, like here is the design calculator, like CSS, HTML, everything is ready, and just build the functionality on top of it using React or JavaScript. That could be maybe kind of problem. Yeah, sometimes they give you a template already running, already working React application, and your task is to add some features on top of it based on their questions. So they say that, hey, this app is running, you're gonna take it over. Yeah, we will share the screen, and then you would be the, you know, the writer. So they give you the, you know, host, and then you can start writing, typing. But they ask you to add, let's say, one function. So you are required to add search functionality or sort functionality or whatever they want. That could be another kind of technical interview. So by giving you know, you the template and then asks you some features to add. Yeah, so that's it, I think. What else? And then yeah, working with APIs, you know, able to write with you know, fetch, async await, and then Axios. So just be confident with this fetch, async await, and Axios, you know, styles while fetching data from endpoints or from APIs. That's it, I think. And you have full potential to learn all of them during this month, almost all of them. Once you cover the router, once you cover the context API reducer, you would pretty much be done all the list shown over here. But if there comes others, we can also work on them. Great. So next thing is I have another sort of data, so we can get started with. It's also quite challenging. So let's put here survey. It's about kind of survey. And then we have also data.js. Cool. So let me remove this, and remove this. Here it is nested, but it's not, it doesn't require recursive approach. So we have objects here. How many objects? It's still 3. So 3 objects means 3 pages, 3 different pages. Okay, so it's like single page, multiple like type of survey questions. So for the first page, you would be asked to choose, let's say, to answer some questions like your favorite food, your favorite sport games. And next question is to select, let's say, top preferred company. And the next page is something like your just name, surname, like single page, but multiple, cards, just switching back and forth using pagination, and then with different questions. So here we have 3 objects. It means 3 different cards on single page, but we're gonna use pagination to switch between those pages. Okay. So the first object will be the first page, second object, second page, third object, third page. Then let's see how does it look like. The first page has some sort of like label, welcome, okay, and then it has section. Inside a section, we have still label, and then inside label we have questions. Okay, inside label we have questions, and inside that questions we have the text. So how did you hear about us? How did you hear about us? So the question, how did you hear about us, has another like, it's just a text, looks like it's just a text. So based on the UI, you see guys here, UI, if it's LB, it's going to be just label or just span. Okay, it's just span. If it's span, we just put the text. Okay, so how do we know if it's a span? If based on this UI, LB. Okay, this LB is just label. Here we have UI CB. Okay, this UI CB is something like checkbox. So we have to put this Google into checkbox. The question is, how did they hear about us? And then Google is checkbox. And then magazine is also checkbox. And then Facebook is also checkbox. Okay. And that way we will have first question done. The text for the question is, how did he hear about us? And we have answers like Google checkbox, magazine checkbox, and then Facebook checkbox. Okay. So something like question, and then here we have Google, magazine, and then the Facebook having checkboxes. So if you heard about, let's say, this company from Google, you just select checkbox. If you heard from Facebook, you just check. And then comes next question. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Next question is about your information, and it has email. TB is text box. Okay, so there comes about your information, and then label, email, and then text box. So for the text box, we can all the time put label, right? So email, passport, number, something like that. So label is just the email, and then the type of UI is text box. And then next question is sign up for newsletter, and then UI is I think this is radio button, our bill. I think this is radio button, and it has options. And inside that options we have yes, and then the other one is no. Okay, so this based on, if it's radio button, it means it has options, and we're gonna put yes and then the no. And that way we are done with the first object, and next object is going to be displayed on the second page. We still keep this welcome, and then we have label welcome to iPro booth. And the next question is, how did you hear about us? And the questions are Twitter, checkbox, CNBC, checkbox, Netflix, checkbox. The same page, okay, still same page, which is second page, about your information. Email again, text box. Sign up for newsletter, which is radio button. And here, yes, and then no, and that way we're done with the second page. So pretty much first and second page are similar. Only like how did you hear about us checkbox are different. Unlike Google Magazine, we have Netflix, CNBC. The final page is going to be like just thank you, label thank you, and then check here if you would like to participate our let's say notifications and so on and so on. It's just a checkbox. You would put like you would put just single checkbox, and if you put this checkbox checked, and this it means you are agreed to participate their raffle or notification, so on. Okay, so kind of like 3-page survey application. This was also kind of, I remember, take home task. Okay, because sometimes for interviewers it would be complicated to explain during the interview to build this UI just like in 40 or 50 minutes, because it's some it's also like confusing for the candidate to understand immediately. However, they just put everything in one page explanation and then give data, and then take home task is more convenient. I think this is one of the take home tasks, and so now we can build it. Does kind of make sense, guys? The overall description. What are we gonna do?
Kinda.
Kind of, right? Yeah, at least.
We will see.
Yeah, that's a good progress. So we have 3 objects. We have to find more like dynamic approaches. Wherever we see like CB, okay, it means checkbox, and we're gonna put checkbox. And wherever we see this RBL, it means radio button, and it has options. If you see here for the checkbox over here, the options are null. Okay, options are null. It means no need to map the options. But if we have options, we have to map that options as well. If it's not null, okay. If it's not null, we have to map it. Yeah. So now let's get started with this data, and you can build here. So basically, it's going to be 3-page UI. So here like this, and then it has some welcome message. Question number 1. How did you hear about us? And then we have here checkboxes, like 3 checkboxes. Okay. And then question number 2, about your information. So it comes with text box, which is email. Okay. So that's first page. And basically second page is about close this. So second page is gonna be same again. Question, how did you hear about us? Again, checkboxes. Second question is still about, and then text box, which is email. And I think, oh, okay, not text box here. I think here we have a radio button. So radio options. So we have here yes, and then no questions in the second page, I think. And then the third page is simply thank you message. And then here we have one single checkbox, and here the not sentence. So if you agree, you just put, otherwise don't put. Okay. And then here we have maybe submit button. Yeah, that's kind of our UI, but on our React side, we should be able to see only one page like this, and then we should have here buttons like next page and then previous page. So we should be able to go through these other cards. Okay. All drawings, right. function app, and then so we can build one component initially, and then if we need to split it later, we can optimize. Let's import. Basically, we are not gonna use any state. The task is just to build this UI. Okay, we're not gonna use any state. The data from. Do we have data here? Yeah, we have data. Cool. And then return. Let's get started here simply first. Div. All right. So div. And then we can map here. Let me make it better. So data dot map. Let's say page. Okay. And then return. Let's see how does it look like. Div or not div maybe. Let's see the sections. How does it look like? Okay, so here we go. Every object has name. So let's try to just show it. Page dot name. Okay. What's up with this? Why this is showing me error? This div. So this is for him over here. Okay. And let's export it. Default app. Default app, and in our index, let's go and then put here our app. It's going to be from survey. Oh. What's that? React survey. Survey, and then survey.js. Did we export? We did export default app. Export default app. Okay, data name. Is there any uppercase? Nope. I think we have to again run one more time. Cool. So I'm just removing this. Removing. Right. We should be able to get this text, at least like welcome, and then from the next object, also welcome, the final object, thank you, the three text. Okay. All right. What's the problem with the data? Oh, okay. It looks like the variable. Okay, it's data. Export constant data, and then we are importing it, and then we're using it, aren't we? What do you guys see here? The issue.
Maybe import.
What do you mean maybe import?
Maybe in a file. Maybe something wrong in the file.
It's just the array, yeah,
Yeah.
data, and then I'm just importing from.
Sometimes I have the same issues. Like it's they literally have the data exporting, but
Oh yeah,
it
look
says
at
that we
this.
don't export it.
Yeah, yeah, looks like it's not correct way of declaration dot folder. Data.js, but we put data comma js. So we don't need it. Cool. It's now working. Page.name. Why the page name is not? Oh, okay, this is uppercase name. Sorry, just have to put here uppercase, and then we're good now. So here we go. Welcome, welcome, and thank you. Okay, welcome, welcome, and thank you. At least we should be able to split them into 3 pages. Those welcome, welcome, thank you. How do we split it?
Do we need state for that? Because
Yes, yes. Since we're gonna use the pagination, we need state definitely. Yeah, I agree. So now we can, we can slice. Okay, slice and then get the very first one like 0 to 1, and then if you map it, we will get only first. And now the 0 to 1 should be dynamic, right? And down below here, we can create like another quick divs for like buttons. So next, and then previews, prev. Let's see, how do they look like? Next, prev. Okay, and yes, definitely we need state to manage that pagination numbers. Import state from React and const page set page, and then use state. Let's put here initially 0, and then that page is going to be here, and then here it's going to be page plus 1. Okay, page plus 1. And when it becomes 1, 1 goes here, and then 1 plus 1 becomes 2 here. So this way we'll pick up the next data, right? So we can start with 0. And the set page also can be anything. You can put here vector as well, as I mentioned earlier too. Like it doesn't need to be all the time set something, whatever the name you give, still manages your variable, still serves as a function that is dedicated to update this, constant. So let's go back, set page. Cool, and we're gonna attach it here on click. Simply handle next, and then for the this is for previews, right? Handle previews, and then quickly for next here, it's going to be handle next, and we need those 2 functions really quickly. We're running here, so const handle pref, and then him as well, handle next. Great. The previews basically subtracts by 1, right? Page, so -1, and then next just adds 1, but we also have to stop when we are out of data. That's another, that's next step. So let's just console now how it's gonna work. Console.log page. Okay. So inspect console. Let's see. So next we have 1. Still we have welcome, and the next thank you, and then we are on page 2. Okay. So page 2 means since the indexing starts from 0, it means page 3. Okay, because our page 0 is the first page. I go back. We are page 1, which is second page. Go back, page 0, which is the first page. Agree? Any questions, guys?
no.
Makes
No,
sense. Makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great. So now we are dynamically cutting the data in a way we want. Just we assign it the page numbers. Basically, it's picking up the first object first, and then second object and third object. Cool. So for the return part, we're gonna start working on it. So let me make it here, page, name, and then So I'm just making here a React fragment. And then if I want to add something else, for example, what else we have in every single page, let's take a look. Every single page has some sections. Before sections, for instance, we can also show created on. Okay, we can display that one, or yeah, let's kind of show that created on. Okay, created on page dot created on. So we're gonna have name and then created on text. So welcome and then created on, and then next pretty much same, and then thank you is a little different date. Okay.
Are you gonna give some limit for buttons?
Yeah, let's fix that issue also. Yep, definitely.
Please.
Um,
Yes, you did it before. Make
yeah. Simple. Do you remember how did we do?
it's some class style method style. I don't remember.
No, when you are out of data, simply so here, if page,
That
let's say, is equal to 2, it means your data length is 3, right? If it's like if it's already like greater or equal to data dot length, here you have to stop. Okay, here you have to stop. So what you do is like you just go out from here, return. Okay, so if your page becomes equal or greater than the data length, and you don't do increment operation, okay, but if it's less than data length, yeah, you keep incrementing. So we can test it out really quick. So here it's 0. Now I can now go. So this is the second page, this is the third page, and we we did one more.
minus one.
Yeah, we just have to put here else. Just have to put here else, and then it works. Else do this one, otherwise don't do. So let's run again. Previous. So now we are on the first page. I can go to the next, which is second page, and the next, third page, and then, so this is the last page. We shouldn't be able to go to the next. We are still going.
Because length is 3, actually.
Length is 3.
If it's equal.
Yeah, we can do then if it's equal, just return. No, actually not.
And we are adding one more to the as a second parameter for slice, so we need -1 to length.
Maybe, yeah. So that could work. Yeah, -1. Yeah, -1. So what does it do? 0. Okay, the page is not greater. It adds 1. So it became 1. And the next time we are going to the next page again. So 1 is still not greater or equal to 2. And then so we add one more. So this one becomes 2. And then this is 2. And this is also 2. And this becomes true, so we go out, right? We are not going to increment anymore. I think this one should work. So let's put here 0, and this should fix now. Refresh. Let me start from the beginning. All right. Second page, third page, and we're not going anymore. Okay, so this way we fix it. As for the last page, I mean, as for going to the negative page, now we can go to negative page, right? -1, -2, and -3. We can do like a simple disabled here. So like disabled if page is 0. Okay. Initially, for the very first time, the page is 0, so we can't go to the previous page. That's why we cannot click, okay? And then you go to the third page and come back to the first page, which makes page number equal to 0, so you cannot go back again. So let me refresh, and when we are for the first time, you see this is disabled. And you can also do the same thing, like if it's here also like disabled if they are in this situation, like if page is greater or equal to data.length -1, then you can still put this disabled. Okay, and when you put disabled, you don't need this if statement anymore. Okay, you don't need this if statement. So going to the next page, and then it's disabled. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, this is better rather than writing if else. And that's it for disable. Let's give really quick some styling to distinguish from the main page. So like border 1 pixel solid red. It should be somewhere here, and then we give really quick width. Width of like maybe 180 pixels. That would be enough. And actually want to grab this and create here a separate const styles. Okay, and then put the styles here as an object, and let's give him like display flex, and then margin auto. Okay, display flex margin auto, and then flex direction. Column. That's it. So we have all the buttons, and then one final thing, center them, align items. Enter, justify content, center. That's enough. Yep. And I just want to give some box shadow, CSS. Some shadow I want to give do you have some demonstration? Try it yourself. Oh, that's too much. How about this? The first one looks enough. So here I can take this. And put here and just make it in a reactive way. And then make it object and key value. Adding top pixels. That's it. Cool. So we have our card ready. Next step is to build those questions contents. We don't need this page created on. We want to show here the next question. So let's first deal with the first object number 1. So we're gonna go to map the sections. Okay, so we map the sections. And then from the sections we pick up the label, and from after the label we're gonna go and then map the questions. Okay, so like 3 nested loop operation is gonna happen, but this is still okay. This kind of surveys are only like limited depth level. You don't need any recursion. So we do some nested multiple map operations. So here down below here after page name, we will map one more time. We'll map one more time. In this case, it's going to be what? Page dot sections dot map. Okay, and then we can put here section and return. Let's see what we have. So we are in sections, and then we can show label. Okay, so label. Let's show the label. We can put here really quick div. Yeah, let's put here a quick div, and we have sections dot label. Yeah, this is uppercase. Sorry,
Just
uppercase. Say it again. What's that?
section and without s in the end.
Sections.
Yeah, in line 33.
33. What don't? Why? What don't?
You don't need-
Okay, without it. Okay, thank you. That's a single object. Just section and then label. We showed that label, which is welcome to iProBoo. Then we jump into questions by mapping again. So down below here, we're gonna map one more time. You see how we are like going down. Now it's section dot questions dot map. You can put here question and return. So what? If UI is LB, it means just label. If UI is CB, it means checkbox. Okay. If UI is CB, checkbox. UI CB, checkbox. That's what we have to do now. How do we like write in conditional for them? If we have LB, so just put text or paragraph, right? If it's CB, create checkbox. That kind of conditional, UI we have to implement. So basically, here we need some sort of function that receives this UI. Okay, and based on that UI, we will either return checkbox or just a text box. Okay, so now we are running these questions, mapping these questions. So here we can implement some sort of function. So some sort of function. So let's say return let's say let's say component type. Okay, component type, and then it receives type, which is question.ui. Question.ui is correct? Yes, question.ui. Okay, so we are mapping questions, and then we have to get first this UI. If it's LB, it's just a text. If it's CB, then it's gonna be what? Gonna be checkbox if it's CB. So what we do is, based on UI, we're gonna define what to return: text, which is paragraph, or checkbox. So let's create this component somewhere else. Somewhere else, maybe here. Okay. Const component. It could be JavaScript function as well. So it receives type, and then return something based on that type. If type is equal to LB, return paragraph. Okay, paragraph. Return paragraph. But we need more information. It returns paragraph. So we have to also put here. So in this case, what we can do, we can also send here another data, let's say text as well, text. Question dot label. Okay, question dot label. Yeah, it takes two parameters, text and then type. Text and then type. So let's get them. Text. So if it's LB, so we put here text. If it is, if type is equal to CB, return checkbox, right? It's input. Come on, it's input. In a way. Okay, input, and then type is going to be checkbox. Yeah, checkbox, and then the value would be, what would be the value, guys? The text. Okay. Yeah, that's it. So now this component type is another component that returns either paragraph or a checkbox. So that's gonna be invoked here by providing two parameters, type and then text. Based on type, it decides either it's gonna return paragraph or input, and inside that paragraph it will have those texts. Okay. Yeah, I think that's something we can all see here now, unless we have issues. Input is defined but never used. Which input is defined, never used? Folder structure, we don't need this one. Okay, so we have our checkbox, type, input, and let's see. Oh, this is a thank you page. Now let's go to the first page. We should already be getting something. Welcome to iBro. About your information, looks like we are missing those components, right? We are missing. Why? Because so this label is coming before questions. What is that label? Welcome to iPro. And then questions is also mapped. So we are mapping questions. This component type is not. Actually, we don't need this return down below. Remove it. See what's gonna happen. Because this component type anyway returns something. Refresh.
Kanybek, I just wanted to ask, is when you received the prop in that component,
Yeah, we can debug now that receiving. I mean, if you are getting them or not.
фигурные скобки обязательны или не обязательны?
Say it again. We what?
Фигурные скобки обязательно должны быть, когда мы принимаем пропсы? То есть we have a type, we have a text. Они должны быть в фигурных скобках?
Oh
или-
no. Since this is just a string,
Ага.
no, you don't need them. You don't need. It's just a string.
I see.
Yeah. So we can console by debugging here if you're receiving them, type and then text. Okay. So let's put a marker. So this way we would be able to debug this component, whether it's properly called or not. Yeah, we are receiving them. You see, type LB and then text. You're also getting. Let me check like separately. How does it look like? Type. So next, so we are receiving type. Looks like
You have a text in there?
yeah, we are kinda sending something more complicated. So question.ui. So we are mapping, and question is single object. So this is object, and from that object, I am sending The problem is, guys, the problem is a big problem. This one doesn't look like an object. This does look like a JSON. Look at the properties. These are all like within the quotes, like it's still like a JSON. Maybe because of that. So if it was just like this, UI, and then label, things would be maybe different. Let's see now how it's gonna. Yeah, now it converted back to the more convenient data type. Yeah, it converted everything from JSON to array of objects. Let's see now how does it look like. Welcome. Yeah, okay. Anyway, we're still having those issues. It looks like we are receiving the object like CB and then text. Okay. Since this is an component, we have to, I think, we have to destructure them the way you mentioned. So let's see how it's gonna. Yeah, now it's working. We have the destructure. I thought this is just like a function. If it was function, like let's say component generator, and then if it receives some, just text and string, let's say question type and then question UI, then we wouldn't be destructuring since this is just a function. But if it's a component, now we are using this curly braces to destructure them, and then it would become possible to work with. Cool. And now it's working. You see, how did you hear about us? And then we have checkboxes. It is working, at least it's all working. Okay. So for the checkboxes, guys, we also need something important. So since we have checkbox, we have to send him this label too. And then that Google is not coming. What are we attaching here? Question.label. Question.label, and then what is it coming? So yeah, how did he hear about us? I am sending this and then putting LB, right? How did he hear about us? It's just a label. And then CB, and then Google is not typed. Why?
You use as a value for input, but you need label for that checkbox input. One more additional label if you want to place.
Oh, okay. The value is text, but what was that? Okay, we need extra label, right? Got it. Something like this. So we can do, in this case, return simple div or fragment, let's say. One is going to be paragraph and then input. So here we're gonna use this text. Cool. Yeah, now this is gonna be our Google Magazine, Facebook, and so on. Okay. Yeah, we can put them on the same. If and then just want to put them on the same line really quickly, maybe. Style display clicks. Cool. Okay. So now we have them on the same line, and the UI, the survey is working. Okay. Next page, and we have Twitter, CNBC, Netflix, and the next page. Thank you. Check if you would like to participate in our raffle, and then one more checkbox. We can put here one submit button at the end.
Meg, did you have one different UI.
Yeah, it's going to be about radio buttons now. Okay. So we're gonna check. We're gonna check now. Every time when we map the questions, guys. Every time when we map questions, we have to check options as well. Okay, options as well. Yeah, we didn't also add this UI text box. Okay, if it's text box TB, we have to generate text box as well. And if you go to the second page about your information, since we don't have a condition for generating a text box, we don't see here email. We're supposed to have here email. Now we're gonna put the TB as well down below here with another if statement. If type is equal to TB, okay? So let me just put here return something like, and then console if we are receiving that TB in our or not. So the first page and the next page, we are receiving LB. Okay, we are drawing it. Just how did he hear about us? And then we are receiving 3 checkboxes: Twitter, CNBC, Netflix, and then we are drawing them. And we are receiving text box. We don't have that text box, you see. And then we are receiving this radio buttons. We don't have them too. So now we're gonna create this TB condition as well. It's just going to be again input component with email, okay? And then for the placeholder, we can put that text, okay? For the placeholder, we can put text, and this way we will have, you see, email as well. Here we go. Let's increase the width of our main card to 280, and then like general padding, not from top, but general padding to 20. So here we go. About information, we have email, and then thank you. Last UI component left. What if we have our bill? Okay, what if we have our bill? If it's our bill, it means we have options. But if it's still not like our bill, we still have to check if it does have options or not. Okay. For the R bill, what can we do? Let's say if, okay, type is equal to R bill. We have to generate something more complicated now. We need options. Okay, we need options, and we're gonna map it, or maybe we can just grab the elements from array, since this is an array. Okay, so we need options too. Let's send that options over here. So options, and then question dot uppercase. Okay, uppercase options. So we're not gonna use these options in the first 3 cases like LB, CB, TB, but we still have to have it somewhere else, options. Okay, so we're gonna use when it's our bill. Okay, we're gonna use when it's our bill, and since options is an array, what we do is we will map it. We map here. Okay, we will map it. So how do we map is we basically return, and then what we do is we will map that options dot map, and then option. So here we can do input component as a radio button. How to create a radio button? Is it just radio, right?
Yes, there is.
Okay, it's just going to be radio. And then we also have to put, actually, I need to go down here because I want label 2 for him. Radio, and then one paragraph like this. Okay, and then every radio button has value or maybe description. We can use description. Yeah, options dot description is going to be options dot what is the description? It's uppercase description. Okay. It didn't work. We are doing something wrong. Basically, maybe. Oh, okay. It's going to be just a parenthesis. Cool. You see, if it's our bill, it means we're gonna utilize these options. If it's not our bill, we don't use it. And when we use, we map it and then grab the description and then create the radio buttons. That's it. Let's see. I didn't create. I think we are missing still something. If it's our bill. So UI our bill, right? Our bill. If it's our bill, return options. Oh, okay, we didn't put here. We didn't put here return. And this one. Okay, it should fix now. Here we go. About your information, and then we have yes, no options. Okay. Sign up for newsletter. Why don't we see this? Okay. If it's our bill, we have to here put one more paragraph first. Okay. Yeah, one more paragraph. Where we can put that paragraph? Yeah, we need that paragraph. We need this text to be displayed. This sign up for newsletter. But apart from that, it is working. You see, we just need that text. Let me quickly give him the styles. Div, and then div here. So we see that yes, no together. To avoid this multiple, selections, we have to give, I think, this value correctly. CUS1, CUS2. So let's use here option dot value. This way we should have only one of them. Not sure, but anyway, yeah, the radio button. The task is not to like make it functional, but to make it UI correctly. Okay, the survey is almost ready, except one final text is left to be displayed. Yeah, initially it was kind of like straightforward, but as it grows, it became more complicated, right?
Yeah.
But the only thing is, take a look the data. You just have to be careful with these UIs and generate appropriate, JSX. If you see UITB, the text box, or bill radio button, of course, how do you figure out if it's TB and then it should be text box? the description will have all of them. I don't have that description, but I know about this task. That's why I'm telling you. But if you receive this kind of question, there should be description for every single line. So what does that TB mean? What does this RB mean? Okay. So what does the CB mean? If I, let's say, didn't mention about CB's checkbox, how would you know about it, right? It's supposed to go as a checkbox. The task will have all detailed description. Yeah, so the conditional is important here. So if UI is TB, we have to generate text box. If it's RBuild, we have to generate, radio buttons. If it's LB, just label is all the time like span or paragraph, okay? So that part is kind of confusing. So if it's type LB, so we are just generating text. If it's CB, generating checkbox. If it's TB, generating text box, okay, like email. If it's RBuild, it means it has another data inside when it's RBuild, okay? So look at here, if it's RBuild, it has another data, so we have to map it. So that's why we are mapping here. Since it's RBuild, we are mapping the options and then showing the radio buttons one by one, okay? Because there could be multiple radio buttons, therefore we have to map it and displaying it. Make sense?
Yeah.
So this is the main engine of our actually code, okay? The integral part of our code. Initially, it looked like okay, these are the very important sections. No, actually, this component type is the main brain where it takes the decision and then generates appropriate UI components. Okay, so yeah, this is how it's supposed to work, and it is nice now the way we expected it's working. Yeah, it's almost done. The only thing is we have to display this radio button questionnaire. So label. We are actually receiving it. We have that one. So if we, console over here, if I put console, Control X, and then put here, if I put here, guys, and then see the text, most probably we'll see that console. Okay, go back. Okay, sign up for newsletter. Okay, so that radio button text is coming. Here as well, it's coming. We just have to show it. How we can show it? Because we have returns. If I put here return like this, return, and then paragraph, like P, and then if I put here, text, I'm gonna show that radio button text, but the next return part would be useless because I already have here return.
Oh,
You see, I have that sign up for letters, but this part becomes useless. In one section, you can have only one return, and if you put multiples, the rest
It's
wouldn't.
gonna end in a
Yeah, it just
77
ends.
line.
Yeah, and ends. Or not only ends, it just completely stops the function. Working further. That's why return
So-
has to be used correctly here. If I just put this one, let's see whether it's gonna put and then it shows or not. Yeah, it's not putting.
Can you place it between return and option dot map? You can cover
Yeah, I can put, but I am wondering like it's gonna show us multiple times because
Gotcha.
like
Now,
since
Gotcha.
this map, this options has two objects inside array, it's gonna show us twice.
Yeah, I mean not here. In the line 77 between return after return.
After return,
have a return in 77 line.
Okay, you mean here?
77. You have a return.
Okay.
You can place it after return keyword.
You mean
Outside,
here? Somewhere here?
outside. Can you see line 77? You have a return.
Okay.
Yeah, there, not here. Outside the scopes.
You mean here, right?
Yet. Can you please delete it? I mean, yeah. Can you delete it?
This one?
Okay, in line 78, we have a return.
Mm-hmm.
You can place it after this keyword.
I don't understand. Like,
You see, can you see return keyword in line 78?
yeah, this one, right?
Can you place it next to this word after
O-
return?
Over
Yes.
here?
Cover option that map in сигурную скобочка. Will it work? Да.
Like
The-
this?
Нет. Option that map. Do it for option that map.
Ah,
For whole.
let's see. Yeah, let's see. So where is it? Shit. Okay, I kind of got your point. Let me first.
Ну, по логике вроде должно быть.
Yeah. I mean, you mean somewhere here?
Мгм.
No, I lost that part. And then let me get this.
I thought not like this.
Something like this.
No, вообще, that
Or
he should be outside. Вот. I re-
outside.
It was before, you already did it. Просто поставить рядом с return.
Mm-hmm. I got it. Yeah.
Именно в фигурную скобку именно. Потому что мы же используем метод map.
I mean this one?
I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, in this case, it's okay, let me check. I did this one using the class component in the past. Like React extends and so on, so on. Let me check what was the solution for that.
Может, just, yes, one more. Can you please вернуть, как было один раз? Просто как вы делали до этого. По моему плану. Просто нужно добавить, мне кажется, еще одну скобку.
Um,
Command Z. I
I-
just wanna try it. О, это уже вообще не так.
okay, looks like we have a solution. We have solution, I got it. So it's actually simple. So what we do is we take everything here, and then we're gonna return.
That was
Yeah, kind of one wrapper. So we put here, oops. And then here we go with the paragraph for the text. That's it. What's up with this one? So this is for him, maybe this is extra.
you will need.
So this is the main wrapper, okay, and then we have paragraph, right? And yeah, that's
Do you really need main wrapper here? Because
yes, main wrapper. And we're gonna put here this guy. Maybe this is extra. I don't know what is this for. Do we have a still issue? And then we can put here paragraph. And it's going to be text. Do we have issue still? I think we don't.
Oh yeah, we have this issue.
Yeah, we still have issue.
Maybe we delete it.
Something, yeah. I think this is how we can fix now. I got it. So let me take these options first. It's here. Okay, I just have to save this and the rest. Okay. So for the return part, we can create one main wrapper, right? And then we can put here a paragraph, and then it's gonna go text. Okay, even if it's very simple. Oh, okay, we are missing one parenthesis. Okay, now we can put that main thing. Cool, that's it. All right, this is gonna fix everything. So we'll have text and then the radio buttons as well. I was just like missing the closure for this main if conditional. Here we go. Sign up for newsletter, and that's it. Yeah. You just have to be a little careful. Yeah, we need just extra wrapper. Yeah, that's it, guys. This nice another like exercise for sharpening the React skills.
As just a question, when we use the input radio, so it should work when we choose one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you will give ID for one radio and you are mapping, you are creating a lot of radios with the same ID, right?
Yeah. Different ID. Radio buttons have different ID, I think.
I think they will have six.
Question ID. So if we use this question ID, what is
Oh,
the like? And then we're gonna make it only one of them selectable. So how the radio buttons HTML. I forgot to create radio buttons properly, so you can select only one. So when they have the same ID, right? Or when they have
yes, ID. It's
okay, when they have same ID. Where is the radio? Okay, down below here. Cool. If it has same ID, and then it's gonna allow us to select only one of them, which is question ID. That's it.
So labels have
It's still same. So question ID. So 343, 343. They have same.
strange.
So using value, yeah, for value, that's okay. Question ID.
Can you give just any number, not from option, just to check it?
Give me seconds. The way it's created. Yeah, see, it's only selecting one of them. ID is this one, or ID is supposed to be different.
Actually, it should be same.
Name. Oh, maybe name. I think. Let's give name. I haven't like worked with radio button for a while. Yeah, it looks like name. Okay. Yeah, name. We can still keep the ID, but
It's for label actually, for connecting them with label.
name should be looks like same, but yeah, anyway. Yep. Name tag is something that decides the radio buttons. But ID is something different. Yeah, ID should be unique because as its name says, like ID is always unique. A name is kind of common. Yeah, so let's give like maybe another 5 minutes break and then we'll continue talking something else regarding interviews, practice, and so on. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay, we can continue now. So I think we did great. We were able to finish this task. I was expecting like whether we would be able or not. So yeah, apart from functionality, everything is working. So we just have to, make these are controllable using state, then store the data somewhere else that, to make it fully functional. But that's just the next step. All right, and so for folder structure, I can add this task as well if you want to like practice later, uh, optional survey, app. It's up to you. I mean, definitely you should review one more time. But if you would really want to make it in your, records in your memories, then try it several times. But if you just overall understand how it's working behind the scenes, that's still okay. You did go through this use callback, use memo, right? Did you guys cover with Azamat or Tahir? Regarding use memo, use callback?
Yes.
Cool. So we have a router coming in, and then Redux, context, reducers. So Redux initially could be really confusing because that's that's actually JavaScript library, not React library. But it can work with React. So if you understand context, then Redux would be way easier. I'm gonna show Redux with one of the the most easiest approaches, without making it complicated. Because any video out there you watch regarding Redux makes you really like cool down from front end development. They make things really like difficult and complicated. But we have better approaches to make it very simple. But for that one, you have to first like understand context, which is also not a big deal. I think once you feel better with these stuffs, like you use memo, use callback, use ref, context, and then use reducer. So you can also start splitting some time, maybe twice in a week for TypeScript on your own, okay? Even if you don't see during the classes, but TypeScript is something you should guys add onto your resume, because without TypeScript, the resume will become something just like standard, plain. To stand out from the crowd, TypeScript is something we need to put, and then also unit test. Okay, so we're gonna cover the unit test, and then you should start a TypeScript on your own. You don't need to be like expert. So out of like 0 to 10, if you become somewhere like 3 or 4 is still enough. Okay, for resume during the interviews, you can explain pretty much questions regarding TypeScript. If it's difficult questions, you can say, hey, I use TypeScript in these kind of scenarios, but for this question that you're asking currently, I kind of don't remember, so on. So that's the way how you can answer. Okay. But TypeScript is important, guys. Every project is now built with TypeScript. It's just React, but adding types on top of React, making the application to work super securely. So basically TypeScript, for instance, let's say you define here, hey, I'm sending this UI like as string, okay? And then this question's also like as array. And then if by any like accident, if you receive this text as a number, it's gonna give you error. Hey, you are expecting string, but you are giving a number. And so like it prevents you deploying the wrong code to the production, okay, before you make changes. That's why it really avoids the bugs issues with your application using the TypeScript.
What about React components? What type they have? Like, as I know, it was React.Node,
React components, what is that?
but they have like a lot of, like, I mean, when you pass through the props to the component in a TypeScript, you have to define the type of the prop, right?
Yeah.
And what's the type of the prop?
Yeah. It's if you're sending string, you just define a string. But if you're sending a component as a parameter to another component, you define maybe like functional component or React component like RC or FC. That's how you define them. Yeah. Sometimes we pass um, a component as a parameter for another component, right? Let's say you have here a comp, and then you are passing here another component. Let's say search. So how do you define it? Is you define as like RC React component or functional component, something like that. Okay, that's also how you define. I mean, yeah, if you reach to a certain level, data description, data creation in TypeScript, and then using them in your simple React applications, that's enough, guys. You don't need to like spend a lot of time on TypeScript. It's enough to put on your resume, and in case there are questions like in what scenarios you use TypeScript, you should be able to explain. That's it.
Oh, Kanybek, when are we gonna start the internship? Like, in the next
I think this
week?
is your 5th month, right? Is it your 6th month or 5th month?
Yeah, 5th month. I mean, 6,
Yeah.
6.
6th or 5th? I don't know. Yeah, it's at the end of the maybe
Yes.
during the last month.
But
You still have to
it's
finish
the last
that.
month for us.
You still have to cover some topics like Redux, the context, and then router. Then I think it's time to start with internship, and during the internship, there would be some topics like testing, which we will cover together. And then you still continue with data structures, algorithms, and so on, so on. Who is teaching currently the data structures?
It was Mario.
Maria, yeah. So you will continue with that.